Hello everyone, welcome back. Today on the Technified Teacher, we're continuing with the Chromebook accessibility features, and this video will focus on visual supports. Let's get started. The first setting I'll go over is high contrast mode. So to enable this, you're going to go down to your Systems menu, click on your accessibility settings, and here's where you'll find high contrast. What this does is it creates a photo negative of the screen, which can make it easier to distinguish objects than if they were just on the typical white background. This can also ease eye strain. By using high contrast and inverting the colors, it reduces the amount of bright white light that your eyes are being exposed to, and it can make it much easier to read a screen, especially if you're looking at a screen for longer periods of time. So whether you have a visual impairment or you're trying to reduce the amount of eye fatigue that you may be experiencing, high contrast mode can help in both areas. You can also turn high contrast mode on and off using the keyboard shortcut Control-Search-H. And then to turn it back on, I can use the keyboard shortcut again. Another visual setting that isn't high contrast mode, but may help specifically with eye fatigue is the night light. So I'm going to go to my accessibility settings. And manage accessibility features. And I'm going to scroll down to the display section. And I am going to open my display device settings. And here's where you'll find the night light. So if I turn this on, it will kind of adjust the tone of my screen. And I can make this warmer, which will make it more of like an orange tone, or I can make it cooler, which brings it back to that like bright blue tone. And then you can also schedule the night light. So you can schedule it to turn on between sunset and sunrise, depending on what time zone your Chromebook is set to. You can also put in custom times. Next, we have the magnifiers. So again, I'm going to go to my accessibility settings. And the first magnifier we're going to look at is the full screen magnifier. So when I turn this on, as you can see, my entire screen is magnified. And to move around the screen, I just need to move my cursor to a side of my screen and then just keep scrolling to move around the screen. There's also the docked magnifier. This will split your screen in half. So the bottom half will stay the normal resolution, and then the top half is the part that will be magnified. This is kind of nice because it allows you to still see your entire screen on the bottom, so you can kind of see where you are on the screen while still having the magnification on the top. Now you can adjust both of the magnifiers in your settings as well. So again, I'm going to go to my accessibility settings. I'm going to go down to that display setting again. And here's where I'll find my full screen magnifier and my docked magnifier. Now when I turn them on from here, now you can see that I have a full screen zoom level that I can adjust. So you can adjust it all the way up to 20 times magnification if you need to. And then the same for my docked magnifier. So when I have that enabled, if I scroll down, I can adjust it from 2 times magnification all the way up to 20 times magnification. You can also use keyboard shortcuts to zoom in on your screen. So the first keyboard shortcut I'll show you is Control and the plus and minus keys. So as I hold the Control key down and press the plus key, it's going to enlarge all of the contents of my browser window. Now you may notice that it only enlarges what's inside of my browser screen. So nothing on the top of my browser, nothing in my taskbar was enlarged, just what was in my browser screen. This is the same zoom setting that you can find if you press the 3 little dots that are up in the right corner. And then you can zoom your screen from here as well. So again, that will only magnify the contents of your browser. If you want to zoom in on your entire screen and enlarge everything that's on your screen, you're going to press Control-Shift and then use your plus and minus keys. So now, as I enlarge my screen, everything on my screen gets larger. If you ever want to go back to the default, all you need to press is Control-Shift-0. The last couple of visual settings that I'll go over are the highlights and the cursor settings. So again, I'm going to go back to my accessibility settings. And this time, I'm going to scroll down to my keyboard and text input. Now, I briefly went over these settings in my last video, so just to do a quick review of those, highlight the object with keyboard focus when it changes. So when I enable this, as I use my keyboard shortcuts to navigate the page, an orange box will be put around the part of the screen that I currently have selected. And then if I highlight the text caret when it appears or moves, it will put a little blue circle around my text caret wherever it is on my screen. And then you may have noticed that I have a red circle around my cursor. In order to turn that on, you're going to go down to your mouse and touchpad settings. And this is the option that is highlight the mouse cursor when it's moving. So I'll turn that off, and now I don't have that red circle around my cursor. But when I enable it, now whenever I move my cursor, I have this red circle that follows me around. You can also enlarge your mouse cursor. This is the largest that the cursor is, and you can adjust it as well. So here's the default, and you can make it as large as you need to. All right, and those are the visual supports on a Chromebook. In my next video, I will be taking a look at the remaining accessibility features, specifically those that support motor needs. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And until next time, keep learning something new every day.